Hey everybody, it's Christine. Today I am creating a fun new layout for Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L, and I'm going to be using their adhesive sheets to create a striped background. I'm getting started using the kit from the scrap room this month. I am using the Pink Fresh Studio page kit that has really soft colors and just kind of a good vibe to it. It's got lots of neat quotes and all that stuff. So I'm going to use some things from it to create an anniversary layout. It is not my anniversary, but I had this picture still, and so I wanted to use it, and so it felt like a good time to go ahead and do that. So, capturing something from last June. So I started off by cutting out some quotes, and then I am cutting out these stripes because I'm going to use these in addition to my adhesive sheets to create a striped background. Really, the whole inspiration for the stripes came from a couple places. First of all, I'm seeing people everywhere making striped backgrounds, especially using mixed media. They're doing it. I also liked this paper, so I went for a diagonal striped background, and I'm not going to use mixed media, but I am going to use foil today. So I'm going to start things off by using my Easy Runner Grand to mat my picture. And then I am going to add the stripes to this background paper. Now, the paper that I'm using for a base is just a really simple white paper with a very light yellow design on it. I love those kinds of papers. Obviously, they're not the star of your layout, but they're so great for backgrounds because they automatically, right off the bat, add some texture and interest to your background instead of just plain cardstock. I really struggle to use just plain cardstock, so I was excited to have this as an option for my background. So you can see I'm securing all of my patterned stripes on there, and I'm just using my Easy Runner Grand. I'm not even going all the way across them. I'm just capturing the ends. And then I'm going to cut out 1/2 inch wide strips of adhesive sheets. I am not worried about the length on these because, as you can see, my stripes already are in various lengths. So I'm going to have various length foil stripes as well. This will all make a little more sense here in a minute, but first I'm going to just cut all those out. Really easy to do. These ones that I'm using come in 4x6. They also have 6x12 ones, and they have 12x12 ones. So you got a lot of options there if you want to use some bigger pieces. And you can see I am just kind of lining things up where they are going to go, and then I am going to peel apart the adhesive sheet. Now, one side of this is sticky and one side peels off. Generally, you're supposed to do the whole sheet, so it's a little easier to peel. Because I am using just a piece, it does take me a little bit to get them pulled apart. It's not at all a big deal, but if you see that I'm struggling and you're wondering why, it's because I'm not really using the product exactly as it's intended to be. So I am creating a little extra work for myself in that respect. Now, there you saw I just laid the foil right on top of it and then just pull it up, and you can see super easy. Such an easy, fun way to add some foiling onto your paper. Now, there are endless possibilities here. You could add glitter, you could add flocking, you could emboss these with heat embossing powder. There are all kinds of options that you can do. I opted for gold foil because this collection has some gold foiling in it, and so I felt like that would be a good complement to some of the embellishments I was going to be working with. Now, you can see I'm adding them on, and then I pull the foil off. One of the things with this technique that I discovered is that they're not probably going to be perfect stripes. They kind of have the look of like I painted it on there with a dry brush. Not covering the entire area completely and precisely. And that is a little bit of a struggle for me as a person who really likes clean lines. After I did the first one, I thought, okay, I'm going to go back over that with some more adhesive and get it all nice and perfect. But as I went on, I realized this was actually achieving the look that I'm seeing everybody do. They're doing a lot of these messy, rigid, striped lines. And so it was achieving that look. And the more I added, and as I went down and added each stripe, I liked it more. And so I ended up not changing any of it. I just went with, if the foil stuck, the foil stuck. And if I didn't get the adhesive sheet all completely on there, that was okay. So a little bit less of a clean style than you're used to seeing from me, but it ended up being a lot of fun, and it also fit with the striped paper that I cut out because those all had some jagged ends too on the paper. They were meant to kind of look like washi tape, I think. So it all kind of came together in that respect. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the embellishing part. I've created my whole background, and this is the part that, you know, I generally love this part the best, although you almost always see me create a background. So apparently I also really love that part as well. So I'm going to create my title, and the little tag that you see there says on to the next chapter, and then I added in the letters in our, and then story is a wood veneer piece that came in the kit. And I'm going to combine different embellishments all around this title. I'm going to use some wood veneer flowers. I'm also going to use just some flower ephemera that came in the kit. And I'm going to also cut out some little hearts. So just a wide variety of embellishing all around that. And then you can see up there on the right hand side, I added in another cluster of embellishments. This is where those quotes that I cut out in the very beginning are going to come in. I am going to use some 3D foam circles to pop up hearts around those quotes. And I'm going to use those quotes to build my visual triangle on the layout. So the quotes are going to each go in a different spot, kind of coordinating with the color of the stripe that they're near. And these were just quotes that I felt like applied well to marriage and relationships. And then each of the hearts were either on a patterned paper in the kit, or I just hand cut them from a patterned paper in the kit. And I'm using my 3D foam circles to pop those up. Now, the 3D foam circles work especially well for hearts because, as you know, if you're using 3D foam squares, sometimes those aren't the best because the edges might stick out on your hearts. So the circles are just perfect for things like hearts, and I'm so glad they have them now because it just takes a little bit of work out of my projects for me. You can see the colors in this are really interesting. They're softer, and there's some jewel tones in there as well as some pastels. Very typical for Pink Fresh. The more I work with Pink Fresh, the more I enjoy them. They are just a very different design and color palette than anything else I use on a regular basis. So I really enjoy using them. Now I have pulled out my mini adhesive dots and I'm securing some wood veneer hearts on there. Those actually come from my stash. And then I'm going to add just some yellow cardstock to the back of this. I'm going to use the whole thing to make it stronger and just used it there along the edge. There you have it. Pretty simple layout with a fun background created using those wonderful adhesive sheets and some foil from Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L. You can check out the pictures up close over on their blog, and we'll see you again soon.